Hello and welcome to the third episode in our Evolutionary Personal Care video series. This video is all about how is it in one part of your body do you increase the volume of ease. Where in the second video we learned how to share ease from one part of the body and with a part of the body that is more defended. Two different locations sharing ease from the area of ease with the area of defense, with the objective being to increase the amount of ease inside of the area that was more defended. This video is about increasing the ease in one area. So you can only do this in a part of your body that you already have some ease in. Typically people will do this, they'll engage in this strategy when they're looking to move more into grace and fluidity inside of their life. They're looking to increase the range of grace and fluidity inside of their life, and so they increase grace and fluidity inside of the body. Because the shape, tone, and tension of your physiology is very much a reflection of the shape, tone, and tension of your life. So many people are continuously focusing on how to fix everything external to them while they ignore the inner landscape. What we're asking people to do is to just use yourself as a little bit of an experiment and see if you create a little bit more ease and fluidity inside of your body. Does that not only create more ease and a more peaceful experience internally, but does it have some sort of effect that it seems like what's outside of you starts to change? And the idea being, think about it, because I don't want to leave that idea hanging and not iron it out a little bit. Just know that if recognize the times in your life where things have been a little bit challenging for you or very difficult for you, and feel like the tension and the anxiety and the disturbance inside. And then if you go into a business meeting, or you sit down to have lunch with your lover, or if you meet somebody new, the probability of that going smoothly and gracefully in a flowing way when you're full of disturbance and anxiety internally are lower than the times in your life where you've stepped into a business meeting or a luncheon with somebody that you care about, or meeting somebody and you're just really at ease and things are more in a flow state. And so if you're looking to create more of a flow state in your life, more grace inside of your existence, then this idea that the shape, tone, and tension of your spine is a reflection of the shape, tone, and tension of your life starts to become an operable metaphor and a rationale for increasing the ease and the grace that's inside of you. And so in this video, what we're looking to do is we're looking to teach you the strategy that in one part of your body you increase the ease, and what will happen is that you'll recognize that you start to, as you inhale and you stretch your body tissues, you'll start to get to these perceived barriers. And those perceived barriers are the same thing as defense. So as you're inhaling, let's say you're inhaling and exhaling and it's nice and fluid. But then if you inhale and you stretch more, you'll start to run into some resistance. That's defended energy, but in a different range of motion. Same thing happens when you exhale. As you're exhaling and you're starting to drop your hands and the front of your body closer and closer to your spine, you start to bump into energy that's closer to your spine. So you end up with this area that is got a range of motion with ease, but then as you inhale, you can bump into what we're going to call a ceiling, an area where you start to perceive tension and resistance, and your experience starts to diminish. It's like, oh, that's tight, that feels yucky. But then you'll drop back down into the room, and it's full of ease and grace. And then if you exhale, you'll drop down into the floor, and the floor has tension in it, and it will start to feel yucky. And so we are setting up the understanding before the demo that there's ease in the room, there's tension in the ceiling as you inhale, and there's tension in the floor as you exhale. And the objective is to increase the range of motion or the size and volume of the room. This should have, well, you'll test it out for yourself, I hope, because some of the ideas that I'm talking about I know are unique, but if I didn't have something of value to teach you that's demonstrable from your side, then the video series would not have as much value. But as you just try out what it is that I'm talking about with yourself, you'll then have the experience of what it is that, you know, hundreds and hundreds of people that I've taught this work to you'll probably have a similar experience. If not, definitely get in touch with me, talk with me about it, because there might be something else going on that's really important. So always contact information will be found down in the video description. And what we're moving towards now is doing a demonstration to help show you a live example of the strategy that we're discussing. Okay, welcome back. And where are we going to be demonstrating this? Okay, over her inner heart, position 4. And so, yep. Breath pattern for this entire video series is in the nose, out the mouth. For other exercises in evolutionary personal care, the breath patterns change. But for this whole video series, it's in the nose, out the mouth. And so, and there's so much that we're learning in this series. So here we go. Okay, so what you're looking to do right now is find the most graceful range of motion. So we're after specific body movement and range of motion that has the most grace, the most peace, the most ease in. Okay, breath in and out. And so hopefully what you can see on the video is that there's a range of motion that she's existing inside of that's maybe 1 inch or 1.5 inches in height. And we're going to be talking about that as that is the room. And so what we're going to do over this next few minutes is I'm going to want you to take a deeper breath in and push up into the ceiling and then back down into the room. And then breath in and out. So you're existing inside the room right now. Remember how in video 2, we would spend 70 or 80% of the time in the part of your body that has the most ease. Similarly, we're going to spend 70 or 80% of the time inside the room, and then we'll only take 2 or 3 breaths up into the ceiling. Okay, breath in, pushing up into that ceiling. More, and out. Helping her connect more deeply into that energy above. And one more time. And just hang out in that room. And out. And a few breaths way up into the ceiling. That's plenty. And again, way up into that ceiling. And out. And back in the room. Just hang out in the room. So this time we've gone up into the ceiling 2 or 3 times and then back into the room to reconnect into the ease that's in the room. And now what we're going to do is, as she's exhaling, she's going to be pulling down into her tissues. And breath in and exhale and go down. And breath in. And you really want to pull down with the muscles. That's it, pull down, good. And then back into the room. And breath in. And Naomi, you're staying inside the room nicely? Okay, because it's demonstrable to me that the range of motion has increased. Is that your experience also?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to hang in there a little bit, and we're going to go back down into that floor a couple more times. We're going to just hang out in this room for another 2 or 3 breaths. Once more in the room, and on this exhale we'll drop down towards the floor. That's it. And breath in. And down into that floor. Okay, and breath in. And one more time down into there. And breath in. And you're going to hang out in the room here, okay? One of the things that I've found about the care of individuals is that things don't have to be forceful and radical and explosive. They can be really tender, really gentle. That's how human beings actually evolve. That's how we move things forward, is through connection and through being gentle, because it creates the safety. The safety allows the blood flow to go to the frontal cortex of the brain. That allows certain parts of the brain to assess patterns of tension and ease and see what's appropriate. And so humanity is all about the blood flow going to the cortex so that you can access the parts of your brain, the crowning glory of evolution, to be more of a human, rather than when the blood flow is going to the hindbrain and you're being more of a reptile. And so when we're doing things that are gentle and soft, but they're precise, and we're holding somebody accountable to doing something specific, but we're coming from a position of, yes, high expectations, but gentleness and ease, it has the tendency, like for sure, to get real transformation and discovery with the person. And then breath in, we're going to go way up in the ceiling, and then down, all the way down towards the floor. And breath in, way up towards the ceiling, and down towards the floor. And then just back into the room, and let's see what the size of the room is now. Just what's the natural range of motion where you're not bumping into the energy above or the energy below. And then one more time, and out. And then go ahead and put your hands down by your sides. And from doing this, what did you notice internally while doing this?
I noticed that there's definitely more space throughout the range, throughout that area.
Okay, so there's more range of motion and ease in there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
both above and below. There's more expansion. It includes a lot more of me also.
Yeah.
So it's a lot bigger.
Yeah. And you also feel like you're more inside your body and less in your head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, honey. So as we've finished up the demonstration portion of video 3, what I trust you got out of this is an analytical understanding of why we're doing what we're doing and how to go about creating more expansion and ease in one part of your body. One of the major objectives of life seems to be to be present inside. There's been books written for, many, many years, if not millennia, about the technologies of being present. What I want to ask you is, have you practiced technologies that help create more presence inside of you? And hopefully that answer is yes. Hopefully you've noticed in your life that the more present you are, the richer life becomes. The bigger thing, though, right now that I want to just bring up, people don't talk about where they are present. That's not part of the discussion. They're just trying to create, helping people be present in the evolving now or the enduring now. That's what a lot of the books and the technologies are about. I want to bring up, yes, not only that, but where are you present? Because if you're present just in your analytical space, you're leaving all of you, most of you, out of it. You're leaving most of you out of that equation. And so, as you develop a greater spatial orientation inside of your body, you can be present in your body and your intellect simultaneously. And the more that you're like that inside of your life, you're going to discover what you can step into, and no part of your body starts to lock up. Because as you become more aware of your inner landscape and you're present from moment to moment, anything that puts a part of your body into defense, you're going to become aware of that. And it's going to let you know what you're comfortable with in your life and what you're not so comfortable. So it helps show you how it is that you can interact with your environment to help teach you how to grow. So you can utilize your presence from moment to moment to moment with your body awareness simultaneously to be able to use the amazing body that you have as a landscape of information, just like the dashboard of your car is a landscape of information. The lights come on the dashboard, you pay attention to the lights on the dashboard. What I'm asking you to do in a situation that doesn't require symptoms and disease, just that you're connected with your body and you're present inside of your body, you bring that presence into your life and you are going to interact. You're going to walk over here, you're going to get some water, you're going to have a conversation with somebody, you're going to have different roles that you play, whether you're a father or a mother or an employee or a boss or whatever it happens to be. And you'll get a body sense of whether things are all okay and you can maintain that presence in the moment, or if parts of your body start to shut down. And if parts of your body start to shut down, why? Why are you starting to shut down? Why are things starting to lock up inside of you? Probably because there's some growth in that equation for yourself. And so this strategy that we've presented, the ability to connect into a single place of ease and expand that ease, creates the ability to then self-monitor your physiology as you're living your life. And it takes practice, but everything in life that's of value takes practice. And so thank you for joining us for the third episode of the Evolutionary Personal Care video series, and we'll see you in the next video.